Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got for you a video that is one half old school gameplay commentary like it's 2010, and one half constructive criticism for The Finals, which is the gameplay that you're seeing on the screen at the moment. I've been playing a lot of The Finals lately because it feels wholesome and positive to me. It's actually felt so positive that I've kind of been cheating on my main girl Call of Duty and stepping away from that game. The Finals is a relatively new game, so I don't have any negative stigmas attached to it, and as long as I don't visit the subreddit, I probably won't get any of those negative stigmas. If you're on the subreddit for any major game, you're going to start feeling some kind of way about that game very negatively very quickly. But for the finals, I feel like I can log on, play a few matches, have a fun time, and probably come home with some clips to share on YouTube or X. Even if I lose or get totally smashed, I probably still had a fun time because I almost always get at least a few fun moments. And I realized that I haven't been playing as much Call of Duty lately, and instead I've been playing a lot more of the finals. I've been literally tearing my sad little baby soy boy hands up playing the finals. It hurts so bad, but I can't stop playing. And I know that this isn't the game that you guys all signed up for. About 98% of this channel is COD fans. But I'm just looking for a little vacation on Positivity Island. Being in the Call of Duty space, and especially making content for the game, is essentially an exercise in toxicity. And there's almost no way around that. Not just for Call of Duty, but also for pretty much any other game or gaming media or gaming channel on YouTube. Video games are supposed to be a fun escape from an unpleasant reality, but unfortunately human nature, and especially our modern media ecosystem, have made the gaming space a breeding ground for hate and negativity. I don't think this audience needs a lecture about the history of Gamergate or Steve Bannon's involvement in using Chinese prisoners to farm gold for World of Warcraft, though I did do a video on that second topic. You can look it up, it's linked down there below. Most of you are keenly aware of just how successful algorithmic negativity can be. It's way easier to get 100,000 views on a video bashing Call of Duty than it is to even get 20,000 views on being constructive or enjoying the game. And the same is broadly true for other games as well. Many of the most successful gaming creators on this platform and others are ones that focus their content on controversial issues, or something less than positive happening in the gaming space at the very minimum. This video isn't intended as an indictment against those type of creators, as their work is absolutely necessary to maintain quality and hold studio leadership accountable for bad decisions, but more positive examples of these people might be the Act Man or Moist Critical when he wants to get critical of a game, no pun intended there. I just couldn't think of a better word on the fly. It's also very easy to go full Emperor Palpatine and just let the hate flow through you as a creator, because there are literally millions of channels and pages dedicated to just hating. Sometimes when I'm scrolling through gaming YouTube, I feel like I'm watching videos from members of the League of Extraordinary Haters from the Boondocks. That content exists because rage bait and emotionally engaging topics perform way better algorithmically than just about anything else on any platform. If you as a creator want instant and sustainable success, then I would advise going out and being as negative as you can be on the internet. That will work. It might not be very fun, but it'll certainly work. I also believe that a lot of creators, even ones that you might call hate creators or very negative, toxic people, make the content they do because they themselves are being conditioned by the back-end algorithm rewards. I mean, if you make a video about The Last of Us Season 2 being great, it'll probably perform about mediocre to perhaps underperforming, regardless of how passionate you are about that topic or what you put into the title or the thumbnail or the content. It's just not really what people engage with. But if you do a video about The Last of Us Season 2 being exceptionally bad for any reason, it'll probably go gangbusters. You can even do much lower quality content and be rewarded for it. And as a creator on the back end, we are like Pavlov's dog. Views go up, money go up, I make more of that thing to chase the money. So even well-meaning people that start off making positive content often get sucked into this black hole of negativity because the algorithm pushes creators in that direction. Unfortunately, and what this is all building to, is that I feel like that's been me lately with most games, but especially with Call of Duty. I and many other creators are no longer able to be successful by enjoying and sharing elements of Call of Duty that we have fun with. Instead, the only views and money to be had are those from bashing Call of Duty. And I too have begun to fall victim to that algorithmic creep of negativity. Most of my recent gaming videos on this channel about Call of Duty or non-independent games have been somewhat nasty. I even broke out the Concord 2 slur, which is a little bit unusual for me. And the truth is that I don't want to make content like that. I don't want to be successful only from hate. I'd rather just be broke and unknown than being a hater. So I decided to do a complete 180 with my personal habits in hopes that it'll turn around the vibe of the gaming content on this channel. And as a general life pro tip, you'll get much better results from changing your behavior around a mental health issue than you will from trying to use sheer willpower to force that change. This is because human beings are 10 times more likely to change their beliefs to fit whatever their current behavior is than they are to change their behavior to fit their beliefs. As a brief example, I think anybody who's waited tables on a Sunday afternoon when all the boomers roll in from church can tell you about this difference in beliefs and behaviors. And as a brief, more positive example, therapists and psychiatrists would often recommend to people with depression to start making good habits like cleaning their house and having good hygiene routines, because a person is more likely to change their mindset to something less depressive if they have good habits. That's just kind of how that works. And I chose to do the same thing here with gaming. I want to make better gaming habits that will result in more positivity about gaming. And the number one way I've done this so far is just by mostly playing the finals, because this is a game that I'm deeply passionate about. And looking back on my channel, apparently have been for years. I've been posting on and off about it for about 18 months now. I find it incredibly fun. I think it looks great, plays great, has a fun general art style. God, the art style. I just love the way the game looks, its general vibe and aesthetics. A lot of the maps and clothing are 100% the way I would like to decorate my house and probably how I would dress if I had truly unlimited money. It's nice because the community is very small, I'll admit, but Season 7 nearly doubled the player count, and the game seems to be growing again, which is great. I say this because the game has been underrated and it's had an undersized player base for years compared to its overall quality level, and the finals is currently up to about 1/3 to maybe half of Call of Duty's current player count, depending on how you're counting there, which doesn't sound great, but is actually extremely impressive, because Call of Duty is still just a juggernaut of a game, and my understanding is about 75% of the players are on console, especially Xbox. Xbox players seem to love this game, is my limited understanding of it. But the other thing about the community being small is that it's still new enough to be positive. It's in those early days of Overwatch kind of phases where everybody's trying to build each other up. They're not trying to tear each other down. They're just trying to maintain the game. And the finals is also unique because I've never seen a game where more of their developers actually play it. And honestly, I think Embark should do more of their own streams because it's always funny to watch the devs play. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, it's a game that just allows me to play however I want, which is extremely important for somebody with as many disabilities and limitations as I have. I've recently mostly moved away from weapons that require really good aiming and tracking, you know, like actual skill, because my hands just aren't good enough from that. I'm never going to be able to snipe super great. I'm never going to be able to like track heads as people are sliding around the map. But that's okay, because there's still a ton of melee weapons and thrown weapons and shotguns and flamethrowers and grenade launcher projectiles and all sorts of wacky, non-meta, but still effective stuff that I can have fun with. It allows me to just load in, have fun, and contribute without having to get particularly good, which is why I decided to make this game my habit changing for positivity. This is the change that I want to make. So I've been going here for a positive gaming experience, and I would encourage any and all of you to install this game and give it a go because it's free. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything besides like an hour of download time. It's a bouncy hero shooter that looks like it wouldn't be. It's like a realistic looking arcade game, which is wild. That's not going to be for all of you, but it will be for some of you. And life is about balance, you know, the yin and the yang, just like the logo of this channel. So on the off chance that anybody from Embark or anybody from the community that cares about this game is watching the video, I'd like to offer 3 pieces of constructive criticism about Season 7, and this criticism will come with solutions that I think will only make the game better. We have to have a little bit of negativity in here to balance out the positivity, because you can't have one without the other. And also, I lied a little bit. I have 4 things, but on my chart I labeled one thing so importantly it's number 0, which is to improve the servers. The recent explosion of popularity of the game seems to have strained the servers a little bit, so I hope they can allocate the funding to expand that. Or I don't want to say I hope the player base goes down, but I hope everything balances out to where it's a little bit less choppy, which is a bit of a shame. But I think that's a temporary problem. But on to the more real criticism. Number 1 is that this season added in a heal gun for the light class that's incredibly strong, a healing ball for the heavy class that's very strong, and we have all these little healing pods on the map that you can pop for instant heals. So we have a lot of healing. The medium class also heals. Tons and tons of healing. It's absolutely a healing meta, and it's been very annoying because sometimes a person can be getting so much healing that you can just put your AK in their mouth and dump 40 rounds and they don't die. That's a little bit silly. And I think the easy way to fix this, the simplest thing, is to not steal, take inspiration, I say, with air quotes, from other games like League of Legends or Teamfight Tactics. For example, these games have mechanics to where if you get set on fire or wounded, it significantly reduces the amount of healing that you can take. I think it drops it by 35%, if I'm not mistaken. But imagine the finals, to where if you got set on fire, or you were in the poison gas, or you were glitched and electrocuted, or any of these sort of disabling effects that the game can have, then during that time you would have a 35% reduction in healing. So let's say, you know, you've got a team and it's just all healing, and they're all in a corner with their healing balls, and they're all healing up. Well, you can throw a pyro grenade in there, and while they're on fire, they can't out-heal the fire, and their excessive healing that would make something like submachine gun be a pea shooter will be much more effective because they can't out-heal it. It's just, I think a lot of the disabling things on the map should lower the rate of healing, and that would be a very simple way to balance this. The second thing is also pretty simple. The dematerializer on the medium class I feel is really strong and a little bit wild how instant it is. Sometimes when I'm using the dematerializer correctly, I feel like I'm playing Fortnite. I'm manipulating the level so much. And I want to say that the dematerializer, and this is from a guy who plays a lot of medium, probably needs a slightly longer cooldown between uses, or a very slight delay before the wall itself disappears, though I feel that could be weird. I know a lot of mediums, myself included, use the dematerializer for more mobility, because it's a class without a lot of mobility, so adding that delay could be disastrous in a fast-paced game like this. But a little bit longer cooldown, because I just feel like people spam that like crazy, and it feels a little bit like Fortnite, and I don't really want to play Fortnite. And then finally, just the last personal change of mine, one I didn't even intend to include in this video, but I noticed yesterday, they nerfed the dash feature on the Light class. For those of you that actually haven't played this game, Light has invisibility, grapple hook, and dash, which is just like an Advanced Warfare exo boost in any direction. I really used to like playing Dash Light because it was very high mobility and, you know, Quake adjacent, but they decided to slow down the dash ability, add a slight delay on it. It doesn't move quite as fast or as far. I think people were spamming and abusing it at very high elos, but at lower elos, I got the dagger unlocked and went around to try to stab people, or the sword. And when you can't dash, you can't really fence or parry, so it made a lot of the light melee classes kind of rough. I just found it to be a little anti-fun, which is rare for this game. I'd like a little more speed back, even if it's unbalanced. And that's all of the constructive criticism and all that I have to say about this game. I'm probably going to be playing it a bit more. I'm going to be playing other indie shooters and just kind of, I'm going to be gaming around. I'm not quitting Call of Duty. Don't you guys be silly about that. I'm just taking a break. Call of Duty's in a rough spot. It needs a little time to marinate and turn into something different. In the meantime, I'm just going to play a couple of little games that have caught my attention and try to have fun. I mean, the whole point of gaming is escapism and to pick up your mood and positivity. I shouldn't be playing these games just to hate on them. I should actually be enjoying myself, so I'm going to try to do that. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.